Hey guys, Argent Templar here. So we're going to talk about my favorite Facebook humor page, at least since the untimely death of Modernism Sucks and So Do You, Being Oblivious. Now what makes Being Oblivious so brilliant is it just really captures liberal and center-right psychology just perfectly. It just perfectly summarizes how these people are and their general inability to see the obvious. So briefly, like, what is being oblivious before we get into the history of it? Being oblivious is when you're so blinded by your ideology or commitment to a prior notion that you ignore things that are blatantly obvious. So you're just completely oblivious to the obvious explanation for things. Um, in particular, with regards to equality, as we'll get into a minute. So Being Oblivious is a satire of the Facebook group Being Liberal. Being Liberal used to have FDR as its picture, but they changed it because Being Oblivious was created and became a lot more successful to mock them. Kind of the irony of being liberal and using FDR is FDR interned the Japanese. He was also an American nationalist, and he also talked about the necessity of defending Christian civilization from the Nazis and the maintenance of Christian civilization being paramount, which he would be impeached for today. So their idol is someone who really didn't share almost any of their values, and they're just really dumb, and they're just completely oblivious about how the way the world works. So Being Oblivious was founded, and it quickly became a lot more successful. Um, so he just the guy who runs this page is hilarious. So he just finds the most degenerate shit on the internet and rants about how good it is. He occasionally will talk about the need to punish the damn Japs, because he's kind of imitating FDR. And he'll just post, yeah, stuff like this. Like, here's a prime example. I learned to love my country and embrace multiculturalism in the camps. I believe that everyone should be made to spend at least 2 years in one. It may be what is needed to stamp out our bigotry. George Tacky. So, because FDR turned the Japanese, and George Tacky is a cuck, so he likes the party who interned his family, and he had to spend like years of his life in fucking internment camps, but he still supports that party. And if that's not being oblivious, I don't know what is. So we're gonna go through some examples of being oblivious, because I actually use this hashtag a lot because it's so funny and it's so accurate, and it so just summarizes how fucking stupid the people are that we go up against. So first example of being oblivious: Spanish words white people can't say. What do I even have to go into detail about? Spanish words white people can't say. Yeah, because, Spanish, it came from Mexico. Specifically, it came from mestizos in Mexico. What's a mestizo? It's a mix between, I don't know, Aztec and, like, something else. I don't know what that other thing is. It couldn't be white people. So, like, this language they speak in Latin America came from Latin America. It didn't come from, like, I can't even do the sarcasm. It's just so fucking obvious. Spain is a white country, you morons. Spain is a Mediterranean country. It's located in Europe. Spanish comes from fucking Spain. It comes from the white continent. It comes from a white country. Sorry, it just pisses me off. But this is so being oblivious, because they don't even get how fucking retarded this is. They don't even get that their title makes them look like fucking morons. Because it does. Because Spanish is a language that white people invented. And they're saying white people can't speak their own fucking language. Because they literally associate it with this bizarre concept, like the one mestizo race, despite the fact that, like, significant portion of Latin America are just Indians or white people. Like Argentina. Is Argentina part of the one mestizo race? No. They're like 97% European or whatever. Is Costa Rica? Not really. But no, those countries, Argentinians, they're white, but they can't speak English. So it's just such fucking being oblivious because they just don't get it. So let's move on to some more being oblivious. Why is violent crime so rare in Iceland? So in Iceland, they have immense amounts of guns, as people like to hunt, people like their guns, but there's no violent crime there. Um, there's no violent crime in Iceland. Some years there's no murders. How could this be? Why is there no violent crime in this island full of like Scandinavians in the middle of the ocean? I mean, I can't think of a reason. I just it just doesn't. Why is there such high trust? Why does Brazil have such a high murder rate and the US has a moderately high murder rate, but Iceland and Denmark just don't have any? I don't know, man. I think it's the fish soup. I think it's because Iceland has a fish-rich diet, and the omega threes prevent the people there from committing crimes. It's most. I just it's hard. It hurts me. Um, it couldn't be that Iceland has no diversity. It couldn't be that Iceland doesn't have diversity, and diversity are the ones who are more predisposed towards the crime. It couldn't be that Iceland is just full of people who, when their basic needs are met, generally don't commit crimes. Nope, that's not it. It's definitely, I don't know, it's a mystery. It's a complete mystery. Let's see here. Iceland, plenty of guns, hardly any violence. It's a mystery. Like, how can we explain this? I don't know. I think maybe it's Iceland's tax rate. That could be it. I don't know. It's a mystery. Let's see here. Scandinavian school success. What do Americans keep ignoring about Finland's school success? Well, I have a couple theories. But they I don't know. They're not really of a colorful nature. What Americans keep ignoring about Finland's school success? I don't know. I remember the Ministry of Education in the province I live in literally believes it's fish soup. I'm not fucking kidding. I remember talking to someone there, and they're like, Finland is doing well because of fish soup. If we brought fish soup to Ontario, our test scores would be as high. So they attribute it to equality. Yeah, that's definitely it. It's equality. If we had equality in like Equatorial Guinea, then it would have the same test scores as Finland. It has nothing to do with the lack of diversity in Finland relative to other European countries. No, it's because of fish soup. What makes Finland kids so smart? I don't know. American educators, they just can't figure out why. They never get more than half an hour of homework. They have no school uniforms, no honor studies, no valedictorians, no tardy bells, and no classes for the gifted. There's no standardized testing. I just like why? It's almost as if they have some sort of homogenous high trust society where people are just kind of happy, and the people there have a naturally high IQ, and they just kind of do what comes naturally, and they kind of have a traditional educational system, and things just work. I mean, I can't figure it out. The American educators who we pay billions of fucking dollars to research this shit, they can't figure it out. It's too hard. It's too hard to figure this shit out. Let's see here. Average IQ score by country. I mean, this obviously has nothing to do with the test scores in Finland and the lack of violence in Iceland. And I mean, like, I don't see any correlation here. I mean, like, I think it's a mystery. Why would Europe and Russia and the former Soviet Union have IQ scores of about 100? I mean, it's something I think we need to look into more. Why does China, Japan, and Korea, and Taiwan, why do these group of countries all have an IQ score of 105? Why is it so high? I can't figure it out. Because, I mean, China's kind of poor and Japan's rich. But IQ is based on poverty. That's what I was told, at least. Why is North Africa so much smarter than Sub-Saharan Africa? Why are the Aborigines in Australia? Why is their IQ so low? I mean, why is it kind of mixed in the New World? It's something I can't comprehend. There's obviously no pattern here. There's obviously no explanatory framework that you could easily develop by just a cursory glance at this. Let's see, homicide rates. Once again, I can't figure this out just by looking at it. Like, why is Europe's crime rate so low? Why is East Asia's crime rate so low? Why is the Middle East crime rate like fairly low? Why is like South America, Latin America's, and Sub-Saharan Africa is so high? I think it's because of poverty and inequality. Even though Vietnam is poorer than pretty much any Latin American country, Laos is like a fifth world country. So I guess despite Laos being a fifth world country, and Cambodia being a shithole, sorry Cambodians, and Thailand just being weird, and Vietnam being a poor place with sweatshops, I don't know, there's something about these countries that makes the population less violent, that is similar to Europe. I don't know what it is. Who can guess? I'm going to say it's green tea. The rice and the green tea makes them have higher IQs and makes them be less violent. Although they eat beans and rice in South America, so we're going to have to think about this one a bit. Political IQ. A new study has been... Okay, this is false. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. A new study claims that liberals have significantly lower IQ than conservatives. I've seen a number of studies about this. They claim it's false. I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Why would liberals in America have a lower IQ than conservatives? I don't know. I can't figure it out. I mean, people are kind of the same. I guess it's poor people vote Democrat more, but a lot of like poor white working class guys vote Republican. So I don't know. I mean, I think poverty's the answer, but I have no idea why Democrats would be dumber on average, particularly in light of the previous couple things we looked at. I don't know. And then we have Japan. Why is Japan's crime rate so low? Japan is often considered slightly odd compared to other countries. Why does it have a virtually no murder rate? Why is drug use so low? I don't know. Japan, many people know crimes. Who can fucking figure this out? It's a mystery. And I mean, diversity is our strength, and Japan has no diversity. It's 99.99% Japanese. So, like, I guess as low as it is, its crime rate would become lower if it would accept some diversity. Like Somalians. If they brought in some Somalians, that would raise their GDP, and that would lower their crime rate more. Even though you really can't lower it more. But I don't know. I can't figure it out. I think it's a mystery. I think we need to spend trillions of dollars to investigate this shit. The U.S. has 13 higher. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, but no, it's bad because Japan is male dominated. So despite the fact that Japan has virtually no violence, no drug crime, etc., and things seem to function pretty well, it's male dominated, and that of course has nothing to do with the low crime rate. Japan being a conservative, patriarchal, xenophobic society, none of that has anything to do with the low crime rate. That's just out there. Why is there no crime in Japan? It's a fucking mystery. It's the mystery that Scooby-Doo couldn't solve. I think the old African village tradition was similar. I think if you're looking at the two most similar places on Earth, it's like Japan and Africa. They go together like bread and fucking butter. So let's look at a couple other ones. Why do macho men tend to be political conservatives? Why do men with lots of muscles and lots of testosterone tend to hold right wing political views? I don't know. I think it's a mystery. It, I can't figure it out. It's almost as if conservatism is like right wing views are just inherently masculine, and manly men gravitate naturally towards masculine things. It's almost as if there's some sort of like predetermined gender, and the stronger your predetermined gender is affecting your brain, the stronger your pull towards certain things will be. But we know that's not the case because gender is a social construct. I don't know. It's a mystery to me why virtually every action movie star in an industry where everyone's a lefty and every pro wrestler is right wing and normally religious. I can't tell why manly men tend to be more religious and tend to be more conservative. It is a fucking mystery. Strong men more likely to vote conservative. The higher your upper body strength is, the more right wing you are. Like, I don't get it. It's bizarre. Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone. I don't know, man. Does a more equal marriage mean less sex? Yes, it obviously does. But I think that's because of the patriarchy. Because if you're like a manly man, that means you rape your wife, and that's the only explanation. It's not that women are programmed to be aroused and attracted to masculine men. That couldn't be it. It couldn't be that people are just happier when there's traditional gender roles, because traditional gender roles evolved because of nature. No, it's because of the patriarchy. And let's look at patriarchy. Patriarchy is not like some sort of natural social system that evolved to reflect psychological, sociological, and genetic reality. No, it's something that like someone invented 3,000 years ago and somehow succeeded in imposing on hundreds of isolated societies across the world, which is a fucking grand accomplishment. We should investigate how he did that, because it seems like he invented the internet like 10,000 years ago and then used that to spread the patriarchy. So that's being oblivious, and like the guys at Being Oblivious, I am proud to be oblivious, and I'm proud to just not understand the world in pursuit of some stupid political goal. So this is Argent Templar. Stay edgy, my friends. Signing.